Hello everyone and welcome back to Sendix Weather Channel. Well, we're looking at the latest today from the models for the next couple of weeks, which will take us to the third week of March. We'll have a look at the latest from the short range and the medium range models to see what the trends and probabilities are. As we're looking at recently, or as we've been looking at recently, I should say, and potential there for around the 11th to about the 17th of March for a potential cold spell. And I'm not saying no, I'm not going to give anything away from the video, but there could be some wintry potential. So we're going to see a bit at the moment. It's pretty pleasant, like right now, 11 o'clock, and it's 16 degrees. Feeling really pleasant and lovely outside with lots of sunshine. But as we go through, I'm going to just show you this. There's a reason I brought this up. Just see that through the weekend, this weekend, it's looking pretty mild. You know, the upper temperatures are pretty mild. But I just want to show you that by Monday, the colder air, which is set over Scandinavia, begins to be shoved southwards, and it begins to move quite quickly across the whole of the country. So we go from the +5 to -5, a 10-degree change within the space of about 6 to 12 hours. Pretty drastic, look at that. Bang! By Tuesday, we're all in the colder air. And as you'll see from this chart, some of the showers begin to... We'll have a look at that right now. We're going to move, and I'm going to move charts as well, so we can start better. There we go. And we're going to have a look at all the latest from the models for the next couple of weeks, though, like I said. So we're going to start off with the UK Met Office run, the midnight run. Don't look at the head. So, what do we think? Will we see any wintry potential? Will it be cold enough for snow? And what are the temperatures going to be like at the surface? All that will be revealed and more today. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. I really do appreciate your continued support. Anyway, at the moment, we've got high pressure sat, is toppling to our low pressure sat out in the Atlantic west, and we're bringing the wind in from a mild south-southwesterly, and the upper temperatures look quite pleasant. Into the weekend turns even milder, with winds in from the southeast, about low pressures between Spain, France, Portugal, and the southwest of the UK, with a block starting to appear in the Atlantic, which is going to allow colder weather to develop. That low is shoved southwards. We develop a block towards Greenland and Iceland, indicative of a negative NEO, which increased chances of blocking potential. Begin to drag the wind in from a colder north-northeasterly wind from Scandinavia around the high. So the high pressure develops in the Atlantic, and we begin to quite quickly drag colder air in from the north. So a quick flip from milder air masses to colder air masses. And the daytime temperatures are pretty chilly with the UK Met run. We've got that high pressure out in the Atlantic, and we're bringing the winds down from a cold north-northeasterly. If you look on Wednesday there with the UK Met, there's a little feature there. Little trough, little feature in the Atlantic, just out to our east. That could run along the North Sea coast, or the eastern coast, I should say, and could produce a little bit of winteriness. Again, going to be very marginal because of the time of year, and sun strength, and daytime temps, but potentially is there. It is pretty cold, and it looks quite interesting. We'll move on to the icon next then. We'll look at the midnight run again. Again, very similar pattern for the next few days. High pressure toppling to our east, and we're bringing in the mild southerly southeasterly winds. Then high pressure begins to develop between Greenland and Iceland, and we begin to drag around the wind from a colder north-northeasterly wind. Now with the icon, the cold air is much more patchy, so it's a bit more marginal for any like snow risk or anything. We get renewed northerlies, another feature moving through on Wednesday with the icon. This little low here could produce a little bit of winteriness, rain, sleet, and snow. For more eastern regions, southern and southeastern regions there. But the air wrapped in is not that cold, so it would be very marginal. The temperatures aren't cold enough there, so it probably would be cold rain, sadly. This is the problem with the time of year that we're at. That the snow, any sleet, rain, sleet, snow is going to disappear quite quickly, which most people might like because it'll cause less disruption on the roads, but it can still be disruptive for a time if we see any heavier showers. Or heavier little features that come up at short notice, because they are hard to forecast. But again, anyway, by the 13th, we're still in them cold north-northeasterly winds. We've got an Atlantic ridge, and it's still looking quite cold, and it looks even colder. Look at the cold air over Scandinavia about to move in. If we look on the GFS then, this has been more bullish recently. Again, there's that high pressure moving to our west, bringing the wind from a much more northeasterly direction. The -5 line comes flooding southwards. So snow showers, especially in the north and the east, keeps that high pressure to our north, keeping the wind in from the northeast, keeping colder air masses wrapped in. Little feature there for the southeast there on Saturday the 15th. A long way off, of course, but that could be bringing in a few wintry showers over the hill, over the higher ground. Before in the longer term, it turns more mixed. But again, ridge high pressure moving northwards again towards Scandinavia, bringing in more cold air from the east by the 22nd. But at the end of the run turns milder. We're not looking at anything past around day 8 because there's a lot of uncertainty with how this pattern breaks down, and usually the models are too hesitant, or too quick I should say, at removing the blocking to the north and west. So we'll have a look at the precipitation with the GFS run. Remember, this is a low resolution model, and of course it's just one computer model run, so take it with a pinch of salt as always. So as you can see, then we've got that colder air moving in. Got a front, there's that cold front moving southwards, and behind it, showers turn wintry in the north, mostly over hills, but could be lower ground for a time. Then by Tuesday, the winds are switching to the northeast, so showers scattered along the north and east coast. And as they drift inland, they could drift inland, and there could be some snow showers for many. As shown by the GFS on Wednesday, at midday, patchy snow showers, light snow showers around for much of the central and northern Britain there. Remember that it is more likely to fall as snow in the overnight hours and early morning hours when the air is colder, because during the day temperatures still won't be too bad. They'll be below average, but they won't be anything ridiculous. So if we have a look at the max temps, 6-7 degrees is not going to be cold enough for any sort of snow like the GFS is showing. But overnight, you can see the temperatures drop quite sharply. So if there is any winteriness around overnight in the overnight hours, that could be. There's that little low I mentioned on Saturday the 15th, producing a snow event for the south and southeast. That'll be interesting, wouldn't it? And the temperatures are quite cold because it's the morning, 1s, 2s, and 3s. So that could actually be snow with that one. There's no issues with dew points because they're staying below freezing because it is an Arctic air mass. So the GFS 6 looks quite interesting. So there could be a few snow showers beginning of next week for some in the east, northeast, maybe even into the south. But again, more likely to be snow overnight in the overnight hours. They could be during the day, but again, mostly higher ground, I'd say. Lower levels, mix of sleet, but definitely overnight hours are the best chance to see any winteriness because the temperatures drop sharply with the Arctic air masses. Again, now if we go back to this and go to the GEM, you can see that it is a little bit different, as I've just shown from that screenshot. We do have that high pressure centre to our north and west. Little trough there for the east on Wednesday, so that's something to monitor. Little trough, little feature developing at short notice. Keeps the wind in from the north with the and the high pressure is much more centred towards Greenland, so low pressure sinks southwards, and it's a lot more colder with winds in, much colder with winds in from the north. Renewed northerlies, keeps in that -5 line right till the very end. The cold and wintry. And then the ECMWF, which has been quite bullish for a change, has high pressure again, moving to our north and west, winds in from the northeast. Then just maintains it, but it's a lot drier because the high pressure centred just out to our west. So we're under a high pressure influence, mainly dry, quite cold and frosty with that. Before at the end of the run, into the longer term, by the 18th of March, again, long way off, we renew a northerly shot. Looks quite chilly, high pressure's out in the Atlantic, lots of cold air. That could be winter's last blast, but it's a long way off. We're not looking at that at the moment in any sort of detail. So yes, very interesting developments. If we have a look at the runs, and we're going to just have a look at, I've got Whitby up because that was where I visited weekend, as some of you might know. But we'll pull up Birmingham, and here is the chart for Birmingham. It's not fully out yet. It's the GFS 6 run. So as you can see, we are above average at the moment for the next few days till around the 10th. Then you see a big plunge, +5 degrees to -5 degrees at 1,500 metres above our heads. But as you can see, up to the 17th of March, we are still remaining below average. Many of the runs even getting down towards this -10 line. Pretty cold. Now if you have a look at Snow Row, you'll say, wow, that's a little bit better than it was before, and it definitely is. There's more runs forecasting snow than there was a few days ago, that's for sure, between the 11th and 14th of March. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it, of course, as we always do, with that one. So yeah, very interesting signs. If we have a look, I don't know, I've just picked Durham as a random location. You can see for Durham next week, and we'll look at this in a live stream tomorrow, you can see that there's a 52% chance of snow on between Tuesday the 11th and Wednesday the 12th of March, and that's from the GFS forecast. GFS ensemble forecast models. So we'll keep an eye out, we'll keep you posted. Thank you all very much for tuning in to today's video. Very interesting developments. Could be some snow around, but particularly in the east and northeast next week. But of course, we'll keep you posted. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.